Hey everyone, and welcome back to CEO Podcast, the podcast where we unpack the incredible journeys of those who built empires from the ground up. I'm your host, and today we're talking about someone who, by conventional wisdom, should have just kept singing her way to the bank, but instead she quietly, almost magically, became one of the youngest self-made female billionaires in America. By stepping away from the very thing that made her famous. Think about that for a second. We're talking about a global superstar, a music icon, who decided her biggest hits weren't going to be on the charts, but on the balance sheet. Doesn't that just blow your mind? How does someone at the absolute pinnacle of one industry pivot so profoundly and build an even bigger empire in another? That's the question we're going to answer today as we unravel the astonishing journey of Robyn Rihanna Fenty. If you're ready to be inspired, to have your assumptions challenged, and to learn some seriously powerful business lessons, then make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Don't miss a single episode because, trust me, you'll want to hear these stories. So who is Rihanna really? Beyond the dazzling pop star, the fashion icon, the woman who brings the house down at the Super Bowl? Well, she was born Robyn Rihanna Fenty in a modest 3-bedroom bungalow in St. Michael, Barbados on February 20th, 1988. Her childhood, it wasn't exactly a fairy tale. Her mom was an accountant, her dad a warehouse supervisor, and their home life was often difficult. Her father struggled with addiction, alcohol, crack cocaine, and there were moments of physical abuse in the home that Rihanna, as a child, often tried to intervene in. She even suffered from crippling headaches for years, so severe that doctors once suspected a tumor. It was a tough upbringing, marked by challenges that would forge an incredible resilience within her. She went to school, of course, Charles F. Broome Memorial Primary and then Combermere School, a pretty prestigious place on the island. She was even a military cadet, can you imagine that? Rihanna in a cadet uniform marching drills? It's a surprising image when you think of the glamour she projects today, but it shows you even then, there was a discipline, a drive, simmering beneath the surface. Music for her became a release, a way to escape the harsh realities at home. She formed a girl group with 2 classmates, and as fate would have it, a New York record producer named Evan Rogers was vacationing in Barbados with his Barbadian wife. He heard them, and the story goes, the minute Rihanna walked into the room, it was like the other 2 girls just faded away. Rogers saw something special, something undeniable. At just 16 years old, Rihanna left Barbados, moving in with Rogers and his wife in Connecticut to record demo tapes. She often says she never looked back. She knew what she wanted. Then came the legendary audition with Jay-Z at Def Jam Records. She was apparently shaking in the lobby, but once she opened her mouth to sing, her composure returned. She signed the deal that very day. Her debut album, Music of the Sun, dropped in 2005, and from there it was a meteoric rise. Hit after hit, Umbrella, Diamonds, Work. She became a global phenomenon, a household name, a pop queen. 14 #1 singles, countless awards, sold-out tours. She was the definition of musical success. But even at the peak of her musical career, Rihanna faced her share of struggles and challenges, both public and private. Beyond the personal issues of her childhood, the music industry itself is brutal. The constant touring, the relentless recording schedule, the pressure to always have the next hit. It's exhausting, creatively stifling, and can easily lead to burnout. And you could see it sometimes, the toll it was taking. She was constantly under the microscope, every fashion choice, every personal relationship dissected by the tabloids. There were, of course, the highly publicized controversies, particularly her on-again, off-again relationship with Chris Brown, and the domestic abuse incident. That was a truly dark period, a very public struggle that she navigated with a quiet strength, eventually using her platform to speak out against domestic violence. It showed a side of her that was deeply human, vulnerable yet incredibly resilient. Beyond personal drama, even in her music, she sometimes pushed boundaries, and not everyone was always on board. Her We Found Love video, with its depiction of drugs and violence, sparked controversy. Later, she faced backlash for cultural appropriation with some of her fashion choices and even some of the music used in her Savage X Fenty shows. She often addressed these head-on, apologizing when she felt it was due, showing a willingness to learn and grow, but also a fierce independence to express herself as she saw fit. But the biggest challenge, I think, for any artist at her level, is the expectation to stay that artist, to never evolve, to never venture outside the lane that's been built for them. The music industry wants its stars to be predictable, to keep delivering the same product. And Rihanna, well, she was never one to stay in a box, was she? She was constantly collaborating, dabbling in fashion, experimenting with her image. She was already showing signs of a visionary who saw beyond just the stage. So what was that turning point? The moment she truly started to shift from pop superstar to business mogul? It wasn't a sudden, dramatic announcement, you know. It was more of a gradual, incredibly strategic evolution. She was already dipping her toes in the fashion world, first as an avid consumer, then recognized for her style, then through collaborations with brands like Puma. She wasn't just slapping her name on things either. She was hands-on, learning the ropes, gaining respect in the industry. She once said, "I never just wanted to put my name on something and sell my license. I'm very hands-on, so I wanted to take it slowly and gain respect as a designer." And that, my friends, is a powerful lesson right there. Don't just chase the quick buck. Chase the knowledge, the understanding, the respect. The real turning point, though, the one that put her on the path to becoming a billionaire, was when she identified a massive, underserved gap in the beauty industry. Think about it. For years, women of color, especially those with darker skin tones, struggled to find foundation shades that actually matched their complexion. It was a glaring omission, a frustrating reality for millions, and Rihanna, with her keen eye for what was missing, what people needed, saw it. She didn't just see a niche. She saw an entire market yearning to be seen, to be catered to. This realization, coupled with her growing disinterest in the relentless grind of the music industry, that constant cycle of album tour, created the perfect storm for her entrepreneurial leap. She wasn't quitting music out of anger or failure. She was pivoting out of ambition, out of vision, and a desire for control over her own destiny. She was ready to apply her creative genius and her understanding of her diverse fan base to something entirely new. That's when the conversation with LVMH, the luxury conglomerate, began to truly solidify, leading to the birth of Fenty Beauty in 2017. And what an empire it is. Fenty Beauty wasn't just another celebrity makeup line. It was a revolution. When it launched, it immediately made headlines for its groundbreaking inclusivity, offering an unprecedented 40 shades of foundation. This wasn't a marketing gimmick. This was a genuine response to a massive industry oversight, and it resonated. Oh, did it resonate? Within weeks, Fenty Beauty generated $100 million in sales. It spoke to a deep unmet need, and it made people feel seen, valued, and beautiful, regardless of their skin tone. Rihanna holds a 50% stake in Fenty Beauty, a joint venture with LVMH. This strategic partnership gave her access to the highest quality resources, production, and global distribution networks. By 2018, just 1 year after launch, the brand was pulling in over $550 million in annual revenues, outperforming other celebrity brands like Kylie Cosmetics and KKW Beauty. It doubled its revenue in 2022, and its valuation is now estimated in the billions. This is her primary source of wealth, a true testament to her business acumen. But she didn't stop there. In 2018, she launched Savage X Fenty, her lingerie line, which aimed to disrupt yet another industry ripe for change. The exclusionary world of lingerie, Savage X Fenty celebrated diversity, body positivity, and self-expression, offering an expansive size range and featuring a diverse cast of models in its campaigns and runway shows, which quickly became cultural events in themselves. This wasn't about selling a fantasy. It was about selling confidence and comfort to all women. The brand quickly achieved a valuation of over $1 billion. She holds a 30% stake in Savage X Fenty, and there have even been talks of an IPO, which could push its valuation even higher. Her empire is unique because it's built on authenticity and inclusivity. It's not just about products. It's about a vision of empowerment. She uses her platform, her personal brand, not just to sell, but to connect, to advocate, to create a sense of community. She has this incredible ability to understand consumer needs, not just what they want, but what they need and what they're missing. Her ventures aren't about being exclusive. They're about being accessible and aspirational for everyone. And here's a surprising fact. While her music career set the stage, it's actually the business ventures that have allowed her to step away from being solely defined by her music. This separation gives her more control, more freedom. She's not just a musician who happens to have a side hustle. She's a full-fledged business mogul who happens to have a phenomenal singing career she can tap into when she chooses. Now, it wouldn't be a complete picture without touching on some of the controversies that have popped up, even with her business ventures. While her inclusivity has been overwhelmingly praised, there have been moments where her brands faced criticism. For example, during a Savage X Fenty fashion show in 2020, a song containing sacred Islamic verses was used, leading to significant backlash from the Muslim community. Rihanna promptly apologized, calling it an honest yet careless mistake. This demonstrates that even with the best intentions, missteps can happen, and the mark of a strong leader is the willingness to acknowledge, apologize, and learn. More recently, she faced accusations of religious insensitivity and cultural appropriation after posting a photo adorned with a pendant depicting the Hindu god Ganesha. Again, social media erupted, with many finding it insulting. These moments, while challenging, serve as reminders that operating on such a global, influential scale means constantly navigating diverse cultural sensitivities. It's a tightrope walk. And even someone as universally loved as Rihanna can face public scrutiny. But what's clear is her consistent pattern of addressing these issues, rather than ignoring them, which speaks to a commitment to her audience and her brand's values. So what can we, as aspiring entrepreneurs, business leaders, or just individuals trying to navigate our own paths to success, learn from Rihanna's extraordinary journey? First, identify an unmet need and fill it fiercely. Rihanna didn't just enter the beauty market. She disrupted it. She saw a glaring omission, a lack of foundation, shades for diverse skin tones, and she attacked it with a comprehensive solution. Don't just follow trends. Look for the gaps, the frustrations, the underserved communities. Second, authenticity and inclusivity are not just buzzwords. They are powerful business strategies. Fenty Beauty and Savage X Fenty thrived because they genuinely embraced diversity. People connect with brands that make them feel seen, valued, and represented. This isn't just about good PR. It's about building genuine loyalty and a massive, engaged customer base. Third, don't be afraid to pivot, even from success. This is huge. Rihanna was at the top of the music world, but she had the foresight and courage to transition, to build something new, even bigger. Many artists try to extend their brand. Few do it with such profound success and genuine passion. If your current path isn't serving your ultimate vision, or if you see a bigger opportunity, don't be afraid to shift gears, even if it means leaving comfort behind. Fourth, strategic partnerships are key. Her collaboration with LVMH was brilliant. It gave her the infrastructure, the expertise, and the global reach that would have taken years, maybe decades, to build on her own. You don't have to do it all alone. Seek out partners who can elevate your vision. And finally, be hands-on and passionately involved. Rihanna isn't just a figurehead for her brands. She's deeply involved in the product development, the marketing, the messaging. She's building these empires with her unique touch, her vision, her unwavering dedication. This isn't a vanity project. It's her life's work. True ownership means deep engagement. Rihanna's story is a masterclass in modern entrepreneurship. It's a reminder that true wealth isn't just about making money. It's about creating value, challenging norms, and building something that resonates deeply with people. She didn't become a billionaire by continuing to churn out albums. She became one by listening, by seeing, by daring to disrupt, and by putting her authentic self at the heart of everything she does. She showed us that the greatest hits aren't always found on the Billboard charts. Sometimes they're found in the beauty aisle or in a lingerie line that celebrates every body. Her journey proves that you can redefine success on your own terms, and that sometimes the boldest move is to step back from what everyone expects and forge a completely new path. What's your Fenty beauty moment? What unmet need are you seeing in the world? How can you disrupt an industry with authenticity and vision? Think about that. Thank you for tuning into The Wealth Blueprint. We drop new episodes every single day at 7 p.m. So make sure you come back tomorrow for another incredible story of wealth and success. Until then, keep dreaming big, keep building, and keep being authentic.